everyone, welcome back to Signs of Life, where we dive deep into the art of ambient music production. Today, I'm excited to spotlight one of my all-time favorite tools, Hive 2 from Hive. Even in 2025, it remains a powerhouse for ambient creators. Originally released in 2015 as a sleek, CPU-friendly subtractive synth, Hive got a major upgrade in 2019 with Hive 2, adding wavetables, a shape sequencer, and West Coast-inspired function generators. Hive took a solid foundation and turned it into a playground for sonic exploration. What makes Hive 2 still relevant today? The wavetables are pure magic, morphing textures into living, breathing soundscapes. The shape sequencer and function generators add subtle, hypnotic movement for cinematic depth, while the creamy filters carve out space in the mix. Add lush effects like reverb and phaser, all without taxing your CPU, and it's easy to see why pros like me still lean on it for ambient music production. Hive 2 doesn't just sound good, it inspires creativity, and today we're exploring its depths while showcasing my new preset pack, Colony, available now on Material. It's a treasure trove of 150 presets designed to spark your next ambient masterpiece. Whether you're new to ambient or a seasoned sound designer, Hive 2 and Colony will unlock new possibilities. So let's harness that power and build an ambient track from scratch. Think drifting pads, evolving rhythms, and pure vibe. Grab your headphones and let's make some magic with Hive 2. Okay, so here we are in Ableton Live 12. In today's video, we're gonna build an ambient track from scratch using Hive 2. And while we do that, we're gonna be checking out a few of the presets from my new preset pack, Colony, for Hive 2. 150 presets, 30 custom wavetables, 15 effects presets, all available for you right now. I'm gonna leave the link down below in the description. So whether you're new to Hive 2 or you're just checking out the demo, I'm sure there's gonna be something for you to learn here. Hive 2 is a fantastic synthesizer. It's really great on the CPU and it just sounds good. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna play in 71 beats per minute. If you wanna follow at home, feel free to use any other DAW of your choice. And I'll be playing in D#/E flat minor. Okay, so I'm gonna grab Hive here and we're gonna load up a blank instance of Hive. I can right click on the main menu up here and just hit init. All right, so what you should know about Hive is there's, two sides of Hive. There's a left-hand side with an oscillator, a filter, and a sub-oscillator, and then a right-hand side, which has pretty much the same, okay? You can link them together and have all the changes on the left reflect on the right, or you can copy and paste things over, up to you, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a pad here just to start us off with. So I'll go ahead and set my amp envelope here to around 70% each one. They're not actually in time values. They're just in percentage values. So I'll go ahead and play some notes here. And we can lower down the filter with the cutoff knob and change the filter to low pass 12. And this is just your default sawtooth. Now, Hive always comes default as in -12. You can change that to 0 if you want. Might sound a little more pad-like to you. That sounds great. Now, what I also like about Hive is that a lot of the knobs here prevent you from having to do extra moves in the mod matrix. For example, if you want to put an LFO on filter 1, you don't have to grab the crosshairs and drag it over and drop it on the cutoff. What you can do is you can just set up your LFO in sync mode in 4/1, and then use this little knob right here with the LFO knob. Now you can see our filter cutoff is moving, which is really nice, okay? So there's all kinds of knobs like that all over Hive 2. You can use the velocity here. There's a mod envelope right next door, so you can add an envelope if you're doing like a pluck or something, or a bass. So there's all kinds of little tricks here. Really, really nice stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and leave oscillator 1 a sawtooth. And what I'll do is I'll come over here to the right-hand side. Now, like I said, you can copy envelopes over. So I'll go ahead and hit the little triangle here and copy this over and paste it over here. And now you can see that that emp envelope was copied over. I'll go ahead and turn on oscillator 2. I'm also gonna switch this to wavetable, and I'll go ahead and load up a wavetable. Now, Hive comes with a bunch of wavetables. I'm gonna use one of my own, so I'll use a Colony wavetable here, table number 17. And we'll go ahead and play this. Hear how this sounds. Lower down our cutoff. So now we're hearing both oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. That's cool. And what we can do is we can actually change this to random glide. We'll change it to sync mode. Maybe like 2/1. And we'll use the LFO knob here. There we go. And this is all without effects, mind you. We can add some voices in unison back in oscillator 1. Turn down the width a little bit. Oh yeah, really nice stuff. Great. Oh yeah. Very nice. Now, like I said, you know, you can do all this crosshair modulation. So I could grab LFO2 and move it onto the position knob. You can also just scroll up with your mouse wheel to add modulation if you want. There we go, play this again. There we go. So now our position slider is moving. You can see that. Really, really nice. With this random glide waveform. Now, Hive also has a really great effects suite. Now, what's cool about the effects is you can, you know, make presets out of them. So if you really like something, you can save the whole effects lane as a preset. It doesn't have individual presets for the individual modules, but you can save them all. Now, I've included 15 presets of my own here. We're going to use, say, Iridium. This is from the Colony Effects that you can customly install. And as you can hear, that instantly sets the mood. Nice vibe there. Let's turn up the reverb. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds great. So we've got this wavetable that's moving over here. Oh yeah. That's fantastic. We'll adjust the starting position. There we go. Fantastic. Now, another cool thing about Hive is you have 2 LFOs. But say, for example, you want more, right? And all of your LFOs are spoken for and you actually want another LFO. What you can do here is use the shape sequencer as an LFO. It's kind of like a hidden LFO. So what you can do is click on this little shape sequencer. As you can see, there's 8 different slots here. We're just going to use shape A, okay, which is the blue lines right down here. And I'll go ahead and draw a little triangle in here. And as you can see, now we have a triangle shape. And what's going to happen is this is going to loop at a time-based value that we set. So we're going to say 1/1. And now it's going to go back and forth between these 2 shapes. And because I've drawn a triangle, it's just going to loop in a triangle fashion. And I can use that as an LFO. So say, for example, I want to modulate the depth of the chorus, right? I can drag this over. We'll drag this over here. And now we're modulating the depth back and forth, left to right. And it's just looping over and over again. I mean, and that's just the tip of the iceberg there. Like, you could add different shapes here. Again, you could like hold control and do all kinds of crazy stuff and have different shaped LFOs like this, like that, and just go crazy. We're gonna get into this later in the more experimental stuff, but like, you can see, that's really, really great, right? We'll talk about this a little later. But the shape sequencers are super powerful. There's 4 of them, which is actually quite amazing. Anyway. So there's our pad. Sounds really good. I like that. So we got our wavetable moving. Change the interpolator to spectral. There we go. Oh yeah. Really, really great stuff. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's a nice start. Okay, let's go ahead and lay in some notes here. We'll give it a 16 bar MIDI clip here. I'll change this to 2/1. Lay in some notes. Oh yeah. There we go. Very nice. So go ahead and restart. Excellent. Okay. Let's rename this pad 1. Maybe I'll save that for the next preset pack. Fantastic. So as you can see, Hive 2 has some magic in it. And, you know, all while keeping a nominal CPU level. I recently did a live performance on this channel, and pretty much the entire live performance was Hive 2. I mean, it was a little bit of Vital, but pretty much all pigments in Hive 2. I mean, it's just, it's a workhorse, what can I say? Anyway, all right. Colony, my new preset pack, comes with over 30 basses in it. I mean, tons of basses you can choose from. Let's go ahead and make one from scratch, all right? So go ahead and grab another instance of Hive 2. And what we'll do, like I said, Hive comes default transpose -12 on the initialized preset. I'm gonna play a nice low note. I'll play E flat number 1. Lower down our cutoff here, add some voices in unison. Up the D tune. Oh yeah, just like that. Now, what I love about Hive 2 is not only do you have all the LFOs and envelopes and everything and the shape sequencers, but you also have these function generators. What is a function generator? Well, it's a combination of like a LFO, an envelope, a slew limiter. I mean, it's like a lot of different things in one. What you can do is provide some really interesting sources of modulation. So let's go ahead and make this random hold here. I'll change it to sync. I'll leave it on, say, 1/1. And we'll use the LFO here on the cutoff filter. Add some resonance here. That sounds good. And, you know, Hive comes with not only all these effects and everything like that, but it also comes with this really nice scope. Now, why would you need a scope? A scope is not only for viewing audio waveforms, but you can also view any source of modulation in Hive. So, for example, I could just take LFO1, drag it over here with the crosshairs, and let it go. And as you can see, LFO1 is now showing us this random sample and hold by visual, which is really nice. Like, you know, how many other synths you know can do that? What we can also do is apply this to not only the envelopes, but also the function generators, so you can actually see what they're doing. So what I'll do is I'll come over here to function 1, and I will set the input to LFO1, and I'll set the mode to trigger, cycle trig, right? Which means it's gonna be like a looping envelope. Okay? And I can use this on oscillator 2 over here. So I'll change oscillator 2 to square wave, lower down the cutoff, and activate it here. And I'll take envelope, or the envelope part of the function 1, and I'll drop it here on the cutoff filter. And then I'm gonna drop it right here in the scope. So we can see what it's doing. It's just going back and forth, up and down. Okay, we can change the decay rate. But that's not all, because that's cool. It's like another, you know, looping LFO or envelope. But what we can do is start modulating the modulator. And what do I mean by that? Well, what we can do is we can modulate the rate of LFO1, because that's the trigger. So we can take this other LFO, we'll put that to random hold, sync, and we'll use that to modulate the rate of LFO1. So now we're getting a different modulation rate here, and we can also use that to modulate the decay rate of our function generator. How about that, huh? We'll up the attack here too. So as you can see, now our decay rate is changing. We got a nice long attack. Maybe we can modulate the attack as well. We can even use this to modulate its own attack. That's crazy. So function 1 is modulating itself. Oh, that's wild. I mean, this can get really extreme. That's just the tip of the iceberg, but you can hear it provides a little motion there. I like that. We'll use this shape sequencer to provide some overall modulation here. Let's go ahead and go 4/1. On loop mode, move the cutoff filter as well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's really nice. So that's got plenty of modulation options there. I mean, look at the timing value is changing. Oh my God, that's crazy. Now, up here at the top, you'll see that the synth engine has 3 different modes: clean, normal, and dirty. Clean is very pristine, lots of high frequencies in there. Normal is what I usually set it to, but dirty can be really nice for bass sounds. It's much heavier. I'll leave it there. Oh yeah. Let's come over to the effects. Add some effects here, put a compressor right here on the top. You can drag these to reorder them. Oh yeah. Add some compression. Increase the amount here. There we go. Very nice. We'll add just a touch of chorus. Put on ensemble. Lower down the wet. Very nice. Add a little bit of reverb. Never hurt. Increase the size, increase the decay. Lower down the mix. Lower down the width. Take the pre-delay out. Perfect. So, with just one function generator and a couple LFOs, it's a nice bass sound. Sawtooth square. I'm sold on that. All right, let's go ahead and add another note here. Oh, I love that motion down there at the bottom. That's really nice. Got the 8 bars, the right arrow key. Very nice. I'm gonna pause the track here for a second and we're going to restart. There we go. Excellent. Now, one thing that Colony comes with, I'm gonna rename this bass here. It comes with these experimental patches that I made to really showcase what the function generators and the shape sequencers are all about. So let's go ahead and add another instance of Hive here. Add a third instance of Hive and open up Colony if you got it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down right underneath the basses to the experimental section, EXP. There's Earthly Realms here, Ghosts, Overgrown, Pulsar, the Cube. Let's try Ghosts. See what that sounds like. Go ahead and activate our track here. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Really, really nice stuff. You can see all the modulation going in the scope here. Oh yeah. That's great. Fantastic. I mean, Hive is just stacked with all kinds of little tricks here. You can even turn up the mix here on the reverb, turn up the width. What if we sequence this? Oh my God. Let's do that, shall we? Well, if you got Harmony Bloom, I'm gonna light up Harmony Bloom and we'll use that to sequence our little experimental. We'll change it to minor. We're gonna change the root to D sharp and we'll go with pentatonic minor. Change the speed offset, choose the free offset, even offset. Add, say, I don't know, we'll go with like 50 notes here. There we go. Adjust this a little bit. Very nice. Increase the note duration to around 5, loop length to 32, probability down. Go ahead and sync this up. I'm gonna make this we'll go with D sharp. 2, how about D sharp 4? There we go. That'll work. Perfect. Set the velocity to maximum here. And we'll call this Ghosts. And send the MIDI from HB Harmony Bloom. Set it to Harmony Bloom. Set it to in. Oh yeah. Love that. That's a stock wavetable from the Harmonics collection in Hive called Shimmy. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Provides a nice layer of atmosphere here. Let's actually change Harmony Bloom's note minimum to... Actually, you know what? I like that. D sharp number 2. There we go. Oh yeah. Really nice stuff. In the shape sequencer, you know, if you want to add new shapes like I have here, you can see I have all these custom shapes. Just go ahead and hold Control or Command on a Mac. Scroll upwards with your mouse wheel. You can see you can add all these shapes. You can change it to triangle if you want, square wave. Even on here, you can hold Alt, move up and down, you know? All kinds of little tricks in Hive. Love it, man. That sounds great. I'm gonna leave it just like that. Ghost sounds really good. It'll come back around again. It'll come back around. What's Harmony Bloom up to? Oh yeah. There we go. Oh, that sounds fantastic. I love the speed offset on Harmony Bloom because you never know what you're gonna get. I'll add a couple more trigger bars here. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, so now Colony comes with over 40 plucks. I really went off. This is all the plucks that I've created over the years for all the Ascendant stuff and Synphaera. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a pluck from scratch so I can show you exactly how I do it. Let's go ahead and grab another instance of Hive here. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the track so you guys can hear what I'm creating. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to lower the transposition down to 0 here. We'll go ahead and just lower down our cutoff filter. Okay. Now what I like about the Hive setup is that you can take the sustain out of both the amp and mod envelope and use the mod envelope as just like a filter envelope right away. So I can go ahead and increase the mod envelope. You can hear, we get that nice, good plucky sound. That's exactly what we want. We make this in Vital all day long. Very nice. We can actually add an LFO here. So I'll change this to sine wave, change the polarity to unipolar by hitting this button right here. That makes it a unipolar LFO. Change it to sync and we'll go say, I don't know, 4/1, and we'll increase the LFO amount, okay? And then we'll drag it over. Very nice. Excellent, so that's a nice plucky sound we got there. We can add a sub oscillator to this if we want to. We'll add, say, a sine wave. There we go. Lower down the volume a little bit. So we have a sawtooth and a sine wave going through filter 1, just for a little extra emphasis here. We'll go ahead and play our track again. Very nice. We can add a third oscillator to our filter here. And we'll go ahead and open up wavetable for oscillator number 2. And we'll say Colony wavetables, table number 22. Find a nice position here. Oh yeah, that's great. Fantastic. All right, we'll come over to the effects lane. We'll add a compressor here. Let's go ahead and add a compressor. Change the attack to lower the attack, lower the release. Up some amount here. Very nice. Now we got some volume. That sounds really good. I love that. Now let's add a delay. Now we can change the position of the delay to near the top, and we can change it from ping pong, quarter note on this side, to ping pong dotted eighth note on either side. And we'll up the width a little bit, up the mix, up the feedback here. Now we have a nice ping pong delay here. Let's go ahead and add an EQ as well. Take the mids out of it, up the highs. Finally, we'll add some reverb on it. Size up, decay up, mix down. Take the pre-delay out of it. Very nice. Oh, I like that. We can add some subtle modulation to the decay of our filter envelope, because that's really kind of important. So what we'll do is we'll come over here and say random hold, and we'll leave it on gate, and we're going to change the actual decay rate. There we go, our filter. Very nice. That's a pro touch right there, right? Because you don't want everything the same every time. You can also use the velocity knob here to add some velocity to the amp envelope. You can also take velocity over here in the mod matrix, we haven't talked about that much, and come over here and add velocity and drag this over to the cutoff and increase the amount. There we go. Perfect. All right, cool. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. All right, let's go ahead and add a sequence now. Go ahead and deactivate Hive for a second. We'll go ahead and grab our sequencer of choice, which is Stepic. I'm gonna put it right before Hive because I'm using the Max for Live version. And let's go ahead and change our scale to D sharp number 3, natural minor. We'll skip some notes here. Let's go ahead and just randomize the skip steps, add some continuous notes. There we go. We'll change the note length to 1/8 and just add some notes here, some subtle changes in our scale. There we go. And what I'm doing is I'm randomizing the direction of all 3 lanes here. The on and off lane on the top, the note lane, and the octave lane here. We can also randomize the velocity, change it to purple dice. There we go. That's looking good. I'm happy with that. I don't really want to do too much else. I think that's looking pretty good. So sometimes we're going to get some notes, sometimes we're not, but overall, it's going to sound pretty good. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more delay, lower down the gain here, and turn on Hive 2. Oh yeah. I like that. Yes. Yes. Now, your mileage may vary. Like, you know, you could go for something a little more complex here. We can also take this wavetable and move the position around with, I don't know, a shape sequencer. Let's go ahead and do that. So what you can do is make custom shapes by, again, holding control and scrolling your mouse upwards, creating these really interesting shapes here. You can only use one type of shape per segment, I guess you want to call them. But you know, it can be really fun to create your own custom LFO and then use that on something like the filter or one of the effects or something. That's really cool. To activate these two lanes, you have to extend the blue marker over here if you want shape A to be active. And we'll just say 1/1, leave it on loop, and what are we gonna do with this? Let's use it on the position of this wavetable. So we'll come over to wavetable 2, use it on the position here. So as you can see, now it's modulating with that position, adding a little bit more modulation. I like that. Very nice, very nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. Needs to be a little bit louder. Let's go ahead and up our compressor just a little bit. Go over the effects, add a little bit more gain. There we go. Okay. It's a nice drifty, floaty sequence. I quite like that. I'm happy with that result. Okay, let's add one more track, shall we? One more track. And what I think I'm gonna do, let's go ahead and rename this. This is our pluck. And we're gonna add a lead patch. And lead patches are like pads, but they actually kind of stand out. They cut through the mix a little bit more. I made a lot of these for the Starfall and Astral Ascendant sessions last year. So let's go ahead and make one right now. We'll grab one more instance of Hive 2 here. And Colony comes with a bunch of leads. You can see it right here. Colony, you can see Beyond the Tower. I use that one heavily on Starfall, Generations, Hive Mind, Reticle. But what we're gonna do is just make our own here. So we'll go ahead and right click Init and, you know, give a nominal tag, like something, you know, kind of minimal right here. Not too long, not too short. And we'll leave it on Sawtooth. We'll add some unison here. So we're kind of going like a pad vibe, but not quite, because again, this is gonna be very short. So it's gonna be playable. And what we'll do is we'll use the mod envelope as like an LFO almost. So what we'll do is we'll say, kind of set the mod envelope to an attack and decay only. So what it's gonna happen is the cutoff filter is going to rise and fall every single time I play a note. And that's exactly what we want. So you can hear, I'll go ahead and pause the track. Very good, very good, excellent. We'll lower the detune down, lower the widths down a little bit. Excellent, okay, that's exactly what we want. We can also take the LFO1 and do like a sort of, you know, modulating LFO here, you know. Excellent, we'll add another wavetable to this. So we'll say wavetable on oscillator 2 here. Go over to Colony wavetables, we'll choose Colony table number 3. There we go, and maybe we'll use that LFO to modulate the position of this wavetable and put that going through filter 1 as well. So now I have sort of a complicated oscillator here. We'll use a triangle as our sub-oscillator as well. Oh yeah. And we'll come over to the effects lane. We're gonna use one of those custom effects presets here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna use, say, how about Iridium? This is a good one. Oh yeah. I love that one. Oh yeah. Excellent. So you can hear now we got some unison here, got a little detune. Let's go ahead and play our track with it. See what this sounds like. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That sounds so good. Up the mix here on the reverb. Lower down the cutoff a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh, that's so good. Oh my gosh. Oh, excellent. Okay, one more touch here. Let's use one of the function generators here to drive this home. So what we're gonna do is add a little bit more motion to this. We'll say LFO2, and we'll put that on sync mode. It's gonna be the source. We're gonna do a cycle trig here, all right? And we'll use that to modulate the cutoff filter here. And you can see it's rising and falling. But we can also use LFO1 to change the rate of LFO2. So sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's wild. We can also use one of the shape sequencers here to modulate. Let's go ahead and add a shape here. When science goes crazy. Let's go ahead and use one of the shape sequencers to modulate the decay rate of said function generator. Oh yeah. Now let's put this into our scope, see what we got here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's wild. That's wild. Let's go ahead and lower down the rate here. There we go. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Nice and random. Yes. Excellent. So not only do we have this unipolar LFO here modulating our filter, we also have this cool function generator that's being modulated in several different ways. Up the velocity here. Yeah! Let's turn up some reverb and delay here. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's Starfall right there. Oh yeah. Anyway. Man, we went over so much today. We went over the oscillators, the filters, the function generators, the shape sequencers, the effects, the scope. I mean, the only thing we didn't touch was the arpeggiator, but we'll get to that in the following video. This is a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you want to go grab Colony, again, 150 presets to get you started. It's available right now. I'm super excited about this release. And I'm glad you guys are here and curious about Hive, because I've been using this synth for years. It's kind of like my secret weapon that's not so secret anymore. So, oh yeah. Sounds so good. Anyway, I'll be back again soon with more tutorials just like this one. If you guys want more Hive material, I do have it on Patreon. I do tutorials like this every single week. I do 3-part series. Last month I did a sequence space ambient tutorial where I was using, it's a 3-part series, 3 videos, half an hour each. I was using Hive 2 extensively, so you guys can go check that as well. And yeah, I look forward to the future. Anyway, take good care, you guys. Thanks again for watching. And as always, keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. My name is Chris from Signs of Life, and I'll see you guys in the next video.